Hello and welcome to another video. In today's video, I'm talking about Ukraine and what no one is saying about Ukraine. Okay, now just because a lot of people aren't going to want to watch this whole video, I'll just get it out here right in the front. I've had this kind of weird, that's odd, that started when the United States told Poland no to giving Ukraine all those MiGs, right? That really started me thinking, that's weird. Then, actually a news agency, WION out of India, they made a comment about it too, that in their opinion, that they were trying to force the war into a kind of an urban guerrilla to drag out the war and all this, right? So that was their kind of take on it, and literally, nobody else bothered to add opinion. Why aren't we giving them those planes, right? Give them the fucking planes, man. What the fuck, right? Okay, well, then when we just saw those helicopters fly into Russia and blow up oil refiner or whatever in Russia, that pretty much made building my opinion of this situation. And my opinion is that the Russians are just shit, right? They don't have this. They're not this big scary thing that the military-industrial complex needs them to be in order to justify us to just keep throwing our money at it, okay? That's what's going on. The Russians, their stuff is junk. They're unmotivated. They don't want to be there. They're getting their asses handed to them because they're, not whatever. And if we gave them those planes, quite honestly, they might get their asses handed to them all the way back to fucking Moscow, okay? Let's look at history. It took 29 million Russians to stop 5 million or something like that, Germans. 29 million Russians were killed by 5 million-ish. My numbers might be a little off, but I'm pretty close. Germans, okay? That says a whole lot about Russia's ability to be any sort of fighting force. If your whole concept is throwing all your people, and a lot of their own people were killed by their own people because they were sending people that didn't want to fight, and if they didn't want to fight, they'd just kill them themselves, right? So out of that 29 million, the total, there's a percentage in there that they've killed themselves of people who didn't want to fight, okay? So Russia's been this giant this whole time, they're the bullwhip to us, in, the minds of the crazy dude that took the nuclear information and gave it to Russia back in the day so they would be so we wouldn't be the only ones with that power. That was what he said he did it for, right? And it's so he picked the Russians, right? Well, it's trying to act there's an equation here. The United States of America, right, is the melting pot of the world. Quite literally, the best and brightest from the whole world have congregated here for centuries, okay? It's really now, I wish we had the moral high ground. This being the fact that we're this melting ground, we have for hundreds of years done imperialistic things that are seriously not cool. Smedley Butler's book tells us that, war is nothing but a racket. He was involved in all kinds of missions, or whatever you want to call them, all over South America to exert American control over South American agriculture and politics, okay? Now, I seriously wish the United States had the moral high ground we have the moral high ground, but we should have this much moral high ground. We have like this much moral high ground, okay? And this is the problem. The rest of the world sees we have like the biggest jacked up democracy. We don't have a democracy in this country is the biggest issue, okay? The electoral college and gerrymandering. I mean, that's not a fucking real democracy. And those things have so much effort put into making the votes. I mean, we have the not the winner winning in our country. And then the not the winner takes us down these paths and the rest of the world is watching. Okay, when this happened, the big one with the Bush, that was right when the Putin was coming in. Okay? This is what they're watching our democracy produce. The loser wins. Okay? Obviously a shitty system. Who the fuck would want that system in their country? No one. Nobody with a right mind would want the bullshit system that we call democracy in the United States in their fucking country. Because our democracy is not a democracy. It's a shit stain on democracy because the electoral college and gerrymandering. Okay? We don't have a real democracy. Period. Never have had a real democracy, okay? And I don't even believe we're in control because the military-industrial complex has put a lot of work into making this country have this giant military and this giant military cost, right? So then Russia tries to duplicate this and they're just not that effective at it, okay? What we see is their billionaires want big yachts. And so these billionaires got to be billionaires, like maybe this guy's a billionaire because he was an arms factory owner or whatever, and he got his yacht because he's making crappy little weapons that weren't really working, and the fucking this and that was half-ass and cheated, and the typical kind of Russia. I've hired Russians, so I kind of have an experience on how they work, and obviously it's not a generalization, but even like the Russians, big as the Valnally guy, their big bullwhip to Putin, I don't remember his name, Navalny, I think, right? Even that guy I have no respect for because who gets fucking poisoned by their country, gets out, lives through it, and then goes back? Like, what? Are you kidding me, bro? What? Like, no respect. Like, I just simply cannot respect somebody that does that. I mean, would they have killed his family and that's why he did it? Maybe there's some things that I don't really know, but I don't really respect the guy because he went back after being poisoned. All right? So this just kind of gives me an overall picture of the Russians, that they're not any big, oh my God, the Russians, we don't want to fight the Russians. Dude, they're fucking retards, literally, okay? They're just getting their asses handed to them. And if we gave Ukraine the fucking MiGs, that quite possibly that the fucking Ukrainians would completely oust fucking Putin and make Russia a non-threat anymore. Well, do the math on what that means. Where the military-industrial complex is boogeyman. That this big boogeyman that we've been spending all this money for all this time and just gets his ass whooped by a little country next door, then why the fuck are we spending all our fucking money on all this fucking shit? Do you get what I'm saying? Right? That's the truth, the reality about Ukraine, okay? And it's sad because basically those people's whole country is just getting bombed as shit when they could be pretty much bombing Russia to shit. That they could have pushed them out and already been working their way to Moscow if they actually had like the planes and whatever else we're not giving them to whoop the ass like this, right? Oh no, we'll just give them some more fucking laws and stingers and whatever those fucking things are they're shooting, right? We'll just give them more of those. Oh, yeah. Oh, just keep giving them those. I wonder how long that war can last just keep giving them those. Yeah, that's American tax dollars going to a military-industrial complex that's already richer than any damn thing in the whole world. Oh, oil maybe, right? People want, oh, it's oil, it's this and that. No, it's they cannot let Ukraine just straight shit on Russia, because then where's the excuse to piss away all this tax money on fucking weapons? That's pretty much the bottom line. So if you like this video, you should subscribe, and peace.